Hey guys, welcome back to another Edgun repair video. Today we're going to tackle the Edgun Leshiy, and in particular we are going to address a fill port leak. Fill port leaks are the most common found in all PCP air guns, just because of the nature of the small O-ring that sits behind the fill port. The Edgun Leshiy is no different. Fill port leaks I think are most common due to the fact that the fill plug itself has two O-rings located. Whether they're a 6mm or 8mm makes no difference. And a lot of people I've noticed, speaking to them about how they fill their gun, they feel like they're putting lube on these is a good idea. And I understand the logic behind it. You're trying to keep these O-rings soft and pliable. But when you put lube on these, what happens is they collect dirt. And that dirt gets sandblasted into the fill port and can cause little micro tears in the O-ring. The O-ring's quite small behind there. So what we're going to do is teach you how to fix it today. It's really simple. And my goal with this gun here is to teach you guys to do as many things as possible yourself and make you really comfortable with how simple the gun really is. As you can see here, we have a full air gauge, or pretty close to full. So what we're going to do is just cock the gun and expose the very handy drain plug there, or a little grub screw, and all you do is just turn it counterclockwise so the air starts to come out. Very simple. We're going to bleed it out, and if you watched any of my other videos, you know that I tell you to never trust the gauge, ever. There can still be a little tiny bit of air left in the air tube here, and so what we're going to do is wait for an audible sound to where all the air has evacuated out of the air tube. And after that happens, I'm going to take my tool and press on the valve here. And you can see here, even though it sounded like there was a little bit of air, all the air was out. When I press on the valve, I can hear that there was still a little bit of air left in there. It doesn't take much to make parts fly, and it can be dangerous. So if you're going to be working on your own PCP, make sure that it's completely drained. Okay, so now that it's drained, the fill port is back here. If you remember this dust cover, and I'm going to say it correctly in this video, this dust cover rotates, and this is where you fill it. Behind here is a small O-ring. So to fix this is quite simple. All you need is a 5mm hex head, and you're going to take this buttstock off. But I'll tell you, before you do it, I'm going to save you a little bit of time here. Take a little number 2 pencil, which I have happening to sit right here. Take a number 2 pencil and draw a nice little straight line across the top between the plug and the air tube. And so that'll just save me a lot of time of having to eyeball line up the buttstock here when I go to take it off. All you do is unscrew this, get it nice and loose, and pull it off. Now, you don't have to take it all the way off. You just unscrew the little back part here. And this is your fill port, or your fill plug, if you will. Boy, Ed's put a lot of threads on those, huh? So this little plug has a small O-ring, and that O-ring size is a 257 by 178. There's going to be a small Allen screw back here. And there it is, right there. So we'll go ahead and zoom in on that so you can kind of see it, what it looks like. Okay, so to replace it, you just put the O-ring over the threads like that. Go ahead and find the threads on here. And you're going to tighten this down until you can see the O-ring squish a little bit, and then back at a quarter turn. It's important that you don't over tighten the O-ring, otherwise it'll take forever to fill your gun. And now we're going to reassemble the gun here. Leave your buttstock on, because otherwise you'll have to take the dust cover off. Go ahead and tighten it all the way down. Just has to be finger tight. You don't have to use any tools on it or wrench it down in any way. Slide your buttstock to where it matches up. And then if you remember, we made a little mark here on the top of the stock and air tube so that we can line it up quickly. Now you make sure your drain plug is tight before refilling it. Now we'll go ahead and fill the gun to the recommended 240 bar. And after you pull your fill probe, check the fill port for any leaks by pushing your finger over the hole. And you might get a little audible sound. And if it looks like it's holding, you're back in service and ready to go shooting. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you found this repair video useful. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, edgunwest@gmail.com. And until the next video, shoot safely.